Today, the new 1.16 update went live on Black Ops 4, bringing a lot of fresh updates to the game, including new modes and weapon tuning in multiplayer, major changes to some big Blackout features, and even a brand new map over in Zombies. We are also crossing over that halfway point for Operation Grand Heist, meaning this update is also prepping for the remaining content drops that we'll end up seeing throughout these last few weeks leading into Operation 4. And with that, today we are going to be taking a look at everything that changed in the new 1.16 title update within Black Ops 4. What's up guys, Immortal here, welcome back to the channel and thanks for stopping by. If you're new here and you want to stay up to date with everything Black Ops 4 related, we've always got the latest patch notes, updates, news, and all that kind of stuff going up on the channel as soon as it drops, so if you are into that kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, and if you enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as it is much appreciated. And now, let's take a look at everything that changed in the new 1.16 title update. For starters, over on PlayStation 4, the 1.16 patch is going to total in at 11.8 gigs, and over on Xbox, it'll be a total of 12 gigs. As far as PC goes, it is currently TBD to be determined over there, since the PC updates take place outside of the regular console patches, so that info will probably end up dropping later on this week, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, the first thing you'll notice after launching Black Ops 4 is the changes to all of the featured previews for Zombies, Blackout, and Multiplayer. And for those of you looking for the specifics, I'll end up throwing up some timestamps on screen and in the description below for each mode respectively, that way you can jump right to the information you're looking to find, or if you're here for the long haul, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's get into the changes. Starting off in multiplayer, the first thing you'll notice is an update to the featured playlist category, adding in Barebones Mosh Pit for our main playlist, accompanied by Gun Game, Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit, Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit, and finally, Hardcore Barebones Mosh Pit. Barebones, of course, features no specialist weapons, no special issue equipment, no gear, and no operator mods, so really, it is as basic as it gets, and quite honestly, from the few matches of it that I've played, it really is a fresh take on Black Ops 4, without constant mesh mines or secret drones and what have you, so that is now available for both hardcore and core fans, with Team Deathmatch and Domination cycling through it for the game modes. On face value with this update, you'll also notice that the Black Market got a small update as well. For our weekly refresh, the Vampire Hunter Vapor Mastercraft and the Jester Warpaint are now in the featured items, and we've also got a new triple play. But yikes, this one is not nearly as nice as the ones we've seen in the past. This triple play includes 4 things technically, even though it's called the triple play, but anyways, in this bundle you can get the Demo Hammer, or as it's now known, the Home Wrecker, a weapons crate which gives you a guaranteed Mark II weapon from the reserves, 10 reserve cases, and 10 tier skips, which content-wise, it's not really a bad bundle, but when you look at the price, that is where things get a little bit iffy, to say the least. This triple play costs 2,800 COD points, or $28. That is basically half the price of the base game, all for a melee reskin, some cases, and a weapon that gets you a slight XP increase. Almost $30 for that, and while I've certainly spent some money on this game in multiple ways in the past, this is something that I think is actually pretty ridiculous. We could have had an awesome content stream with this stuff included, but nope, instead it goes straight behind a paywall, so honestly, that is a pretty big bummer in my opinion. But moving on top of that, there were also a few new things added to reserves with this update, including 3 new Mark II weapons for the Rampart, the Koshka, and the Cordite, alongside the Snitch outfit for Crash. And to top off all things Black Market related, when you do end up logging into Black Ops 4 today, you'll end up receiving a free weapons crate which you immediately open, so you do have a chance at getting one of those new Mark II weapons, or one of the older ones like the SWAT, the Damon, or the Cap 45 with that, so at least we do get one free Mark II weapon today. That is pretty cool, but as far as that bundle goes, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that. However, outside of the face value stuff, a lot also happened behind the scenes with weapon tunes and various adjustments of that nature, so let's shift focus onto that. For weapons, the SMG class actually had a ton of different changes made all across the board, with the Cordite, MX9, and SOG all receiving an increased sprint out speed, the Switchblade received an ammo buff, the Spitfire and Damon got a slight 6-shot range increase, the Cordite got a 5-hit range increase, and the MX9 also received an increase to its ADS outspeed. For assault rifles, the KN57 was the only gun touched in that category, but with that, the 4-shot and the 5-shot ranges were both increased, making this weapon even better than before. Trust me when I say the KN57 is an absolute beast. In the tactical rifles category, the ABR received an increase to its ADS in speed, its ammo was increased by 6 bullets, and its 4-shot range was extended as well. For snipers, the Paladin finally got a 6th bullet, but also it got a reduced reload speed to counteract that a little bit, and the SDM got an increase to its fire rate. Finally, for pistols, the RK7 got a global damage increase, the Mozu's 3, 4, and 5 shot ranges were all increased, and the Strife's fire rate was increased. Friendly Fire also had an update for both World League and Hardcore modes, and with the 1.16 update, Friendly Fire will now be Ricochet for the first 15 seconds of a game, and after those first 15 seconds pass, it'll then return to normal. But if you end up getting 3 team kills in one game, Ricochet will then return to you in specific, so be on the lookout for that as well. Hopefully this will stop some griefers over in League play. Various XP changes were also made as well, including increased XP earned and awarded for kill streak kills, for killing the K9 unit, for an ice pick shutdown, for destroying an RCXD, for killing a strike team, and for the forward position medal. For game modes, Kill Confirmed, Search and Destroy, and Heist all had some smaller changes implemented. For Specialist, Nomad's K9 unit was slightly adjusted to perform a little bit more accurately, and for Outrider, players who are now hit by a fully charged Sparrow shot will now properly hear the impact sound on the bolt. For perks, only Tac Mask was changed, but it's actually a pretty cool update if you ask me. Now players who have Tac Mask equipped that are hit by a Tempest will no longer chain to other players in the vicinity, so that's actually a really specific update, but also a pretty useful one if you think about it. I don't know how many times I've been knocked down because I run into a teammate who's been hit by a Tempest. It can definitely be annoying, so it's cool to see that Tac Mask now counters that. Briefly looking into League play, ranks 21 to 30 were now added in the divisions, and various issues were fixed with Create a Class and the general UI. And of course, all those previously mentioned Friendly Fire updates are now in effect in League play as well. Switching over to Blackout, we've also got a few prominent updates here, the biggest and most notable relating to the storm damage, which has now been increased to deal more damage over time, meaning the longer you're in the collapse zone, the more damage the zone is actually going to deal to you. This change was made in an attempt to counteract those players who camp in the storm with Outlander and Medic and 1,000,001 bandages, so that strat really is no longer viable, so that's a pretty cool update to see. The 1.16 update also introduced Zero's EMP Disruptor Grenade and Outrider Sparrow Bow into the loot pool, so both of those items can now be found on the map alongside the other specialist items like the Purifier, the Annihilator, so on and so forth. On top of that, we've also got the brand new Demo Hammer, or I guess Home Wrecker melee weapon, that has also been added to the loot pool, so you can find that lying around in Blackout as well. With these additions specifically, the Demo Hammer, I mean, that's really not going to do a whole lot. It is simply a cosmetic melee variant, so it is going to perform the same as all the other melee weapons in the game, but the EMP Grenade is certainly going to shake things up because barricades, mesh mines, trophy systems, etc., they all now have a decent counter in place with the EMP Grenade, and most importantly, EMP Grenades will temporarily shut down the engine of a vehicle, so vehicle spam can also be countered to a certain extent too. And finally, with the Sparrow Bow, it's going to perform just like the Purifier or the Annihilator would, in the sense that it can only be found in crates, and it's going to have limited ammo that, if it runs out, will not be able to be replenished, so keep that in mind when you are hunting for that on the battlefield. Alongside that, there was also some minor weapon tuning in Blackout as well, including increased sprint out times for the Cordite, the MX9, and the SOG, alongside the same ammo increase to the Switchblade that we saw over in MP, and also the MX9's ADS outspeed was also increased, which we also saw over in multiplayer. The RK7 received a damage buff, the Strife's rate of fire was increased, and the SDM's fire rate was also buffed for Blackout 2. The sun's glare was also reduced for our spring map update, so there's that as well. Personally, I really like that update because I don't know how many times I looked towards the sun and just could not see anything, so it's nice to know that my retinas will not be burned any longer. For vehicles, co-pilot support was added for the Little Bird and the cargo truck, and the muscle car's collision was also improved so it behaves a little bit more accurately when hitting players. Finally, in Blackout, you can now activate perks and use multiple armor plates consecutively while holding down the bounded button or key. Blur was removed from the victory screen, and various other bug fixes were addressed too. Now shifting focus over to zombies, I'm just going to touch on the main things that changed because there was a lot of bug fixes and whatnot this time around, but the big things include the weapon adjustments made to the Cordite, MX9, SOG, ABR, Paladin, SDM, and the Strife that I mentioned earlier for both multiplayer and Blackout, and obviously the implementation of the new Ancient Evil map, which is also accompanied by the new Zombshell perk and also the new Suit Up, Dividend Yield, talking about regeneration, bullet boost, and Quacknarok elixirs, alongside some new talismans in Glowing Phylactery and Battered Dragon Scale. And To be honest, I don't think I've ever read a weirder series of words in my life. Anyways, like I also mentioned, there were a lot of global stability fixes in this update, but for the sake of time, I'll just end up linking the patch notes down in the description below if you do want to go and read further in depth about all of that stuff. With that said though, that is everything that changed in the new 1.16 title update. Of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like on it, give it a big old thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. And if you are brand new here to the channel and you like what you see, definitely consider subscribing with your post notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when a new video goes live. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.